Well, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fort Valley Utility Commission December 13th meeting. We're going to get this meeting started. I'd like to thank everybody for attending. Before we do anything, I'd like to ask Commissioner Thompson if she would lead us in a word of prayer.
Okay, and so I'll say the Lord's Prayer in unison, please. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Amen.
All right, thank you so much. If we would, please stand, face the flag, and let's recite allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating with us. I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Bryant. Thank you for joining us. Distinguished veteran Sabrina Tharp, thank you for joining us. And Commissioner-elect Keetrick Jones, thank you. And appointee of Crawford County, Mr. Lee. Thank you for joining us, Lee Dickey. Yes. I know 4th, 5th. I can't get it. 4th. All right. Thank you for joining us as well. If you would, any public, move on to the next item. Any public comments? Ms. Thorpe?
Yes.
If you would, microphone.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, I am Sabrina Thorpe, and I am a resident in the county. I am here to talk about the Friendship Circle project, which is sponsored by the Department, I can't remember, but anyway, one of those federal agencies. And I did.
Can you do this for us, please, if you don't mind?
I'm sorry.
We all have had our shots.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can't hear what you're saying with the mask
I'll
on.
take my mask off, okay.
If you don't mind.
Okay, again, my name is Sabrina Thorpe.
Okay.
And I am here to talk about the Friendship Circle project in Gano. And I am here on behalf of several residents in that community. As you all know, that is a multi-million-dollar project that they've constructed a water tower and a building and everything. And in our opinion, it has destroyed our neighborhood, our community. And history has shown that projects like that are normally in Black communities. And what it does, it decreases the value of any property in that area. No one wants to live in an area where there's a water tower and whatever. And that project, and I've spoken to Mr. Walker, and I addressed some of my concerns because that area at one time was a wooded area that's near a railroad track. Since they have taken down all of the trees, now there is direct noise pollution from the train as well as the traffic from, I think it's Highway 49 and Ira Hicks Boulevard. So right now there is continuous traffic and a constant train noise from a train. And I just want this commission to know that the citizens and the residents in that area have a concern. And as I have spoken to Mr. Walker and asked, and he agreed, but I guess they're looking for funding to put up and to erect some sound barriers. And I gave him an example on Highway 96. They did a road expansion, and after they did the road expansion, they added the sound barriers, which would reduce the noise from traffic. And as you know, traffic from cars is really different from the noise from the train. So that's the issue I would like you all to address and hopefully get back with us. Are there any questions of me?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
You're exactly right about the train noise, and of course, we're talking about a railroad man who probably would differ with us, but
Very much.
but we, even at my house, I have learned to accept the noise, because I'm right behind the track also,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I have no sound barrier over there. And so when people come to us about putting speed bumps and all that kind of stuff in different places in the community, I have to think about that also. I've been living, what, 20 years now, I guess, with that train, listening with the train that way. Now, the last time we talked with DOT about dealing with train situation, with train issues down, about the traffic, we talked about some kind of way that you could silence the train when they come through, or they don't do the horn or something of that nature.
Right, that is.
I don't know what they call it.
That is I don't know the proper term for it, but when they come into a certain area, residential, hospital or whatever, where they give them a no whistle, don't blow the horn or whatever, and slow the speed down to about 15 to 25 mile an hour to hold down a lot of the clankety clank in the horn. But I don't know the scenario in which fits those guidelines. That's something that GDOT and the railroad would have to do. I really don't. But my question, I have one question. What is the train count coming down that Marshallville spur, that with the noise? Do you have a train count, number of trains going by in a 24-hour period?
There are several. I must, to be honest, most of the day I'm not there, but I'm told that there are trains that are going constantly, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just various times.
Our public works director brought this up before DOT. He knew the terminology, so DOT is aware that we are having issues with the train horns in the residential communities. Now, whether they can speak to Norfolk Southern or the other train companies with that and probably get more positive results than we could. I'm gonna tell a joke. I always have a personal experience that I can share.
Yes,
when I first started teaching, I rented in Dooley County, down in Vienna, in a trailer with someone. My first year of teaching, and 3 o'clock in the morning, a train came through there, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a tornado. I was so scared, and I'm living in a trailer, getting ready to get up in pajamas and run outside with that noise. And that was my first of knowing that the train came through that way. But as I lived a little bit later on, I got used to the noise. I just know it's the train. The dogs are the ones that have the problem with it because it hurts their ears. And so, but anyway, I agree there. If you could silence them when they come through, it would be nice.
Well, that's part of it, and I guess the big issue is, no one knew that this major project was coming into the neighborhood prior to them knocking down the trees. And it's such a small neighborhood, and I just think it should have been it would have been nice to have some type of notification prior to. And I did talk to Mr. Walker, and he said it was posted somewhere that this project was coming. And I'm guilty, I did not read it. But again, I think it would have been a little courteous to say, hey, knock on the door, leave a note or something. Hey, we have this big multi-million-dollar project, and we have this big water tank. And if you look at it, it's so close to the street. And if something happened, that water tank fall, it would destroy and kill so many people. Just the position of it.
We don't want that to happen.
I know, but it's too late now because it's up. And nobody's happy about it. There are a lot of unhappy people. They're just not here tonight. But I'm the spokesperson. I declared myself that. But again, I just want you all to know that nobody knew about it. And nobody is happy about it. And with that construction project, of course, there's dust, there's red dust all over. You have to wash your cars often. and it just disturbs everything. I'm having more limbs to fall in the yard because of the train, the noise. So I just want you all to know that, you know, nobody's happy about this. I guess you all are happy, somebody's gonna be happy, but we're not. Cause it's in our neighborhood.
I understand.
Ms. Starr, please know that we are not happy about something like that.
Yes,
Please
ma'am.
don't think that we are happy, okay?
Mhm.
And,
Well, I'm not saying you're happy about all
no,
of that.
I understand what you're saying, and I just want you to know that whatever we can do, we're going to do it.
Okay.
Because I know that it was, we posted it. We're sorry, it was a long time ago.
Mhm.
Sorry that you did not, see it. We apologize.
Mhm.
But we're going to do all we can. Where if it means putting those barriers up,
Mhm.
we're gonna do that,
Okay.
okay? And again, we apologize for whatever you're going through, okay?
Ms. Stark, I do wanna say that this project was on the way, even before I came in office as mayor.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I've been here 8 years in the office, so I know that project started before that time.
Mhm.
It was delayed, but there was a reason for it, it started before.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and I'm sure that a project like this, I'm sure the information was dispensed. People just don't pay attention to it until it hits home, kind of.
I've learned a real hard lesson. I read the paper now.
I don't think the utility commission, the city of Fort Valley, any person working is trying to do anything but, do good and service the university and that area. Not, not try to you can't pull that over without you knowing, that's something that big, you gotta see it, you gotta know.
Right.
But, I don't think that anybody tried to pull any wool over anyone's eyes.
No, and I'm not here blaming. I'm just letting, it's just a matter of, I don't know, I'm sure it was not brought to you before that, we're not happy. And the thing is, we want it to be known that, a major project like that and that type of project is just not good for a neighborhood.
We take your concern, as
Mhm.
Ms. Commissioner Thompson said, we're gonna move forward and trying to figure out how to make it better from this day forward.
Right.
That's what we can do now that we know your concerns and we've registered them in, for the area, Gano area. Thank you so much for that. And, we'll work diligently to figure it out.
Okay, and I want to commend Mr. Walker. I contacted whatever office in Washington, and they did give me his phone number, and we have talked. He showed me the blueprints and all of that, but again, I was happy that he did that, but again, every time we walk out and we see this big, huge project and all the residue that comes with that, residuals that come with a major project like that, and it's just not good. And it won't be good again, and as you said, we just have to adjust and move forward from that, but just want everyone to know that that is a concern.
You mentioned so close to the road.
Yes, ma'am.
This is to you, Clay. Approximately how close is the tower to the road?
I believe it's about 45 feet from the road.
45 feet?
45 to 50 feet from the road, yes. I believe, I'd have to verify that. I could verify it tomorrow. But it is a tall tank, because it was put there specifically for the university to have fire suppression and to have water on the 4th floor of the dorms.
Yeah.
So it has a 164-foot overflow.
Right.
And
I
so
think that was the purpose for the.
that was the whole purpose of the tank, is to have it
Yeah.
near the university and have that there.
And
And on the other hand, one of the things we thought of to try to mitigate some of the noise was to put fencing with the real thick slats that does a complete blocking and see if that would help. And I'm not familiar with how well that would help, but I would think that would be, if the woods actually did that good, and kept the noise down, that should help some.
Well,
But
Go ahead.
but I don't know, when I had looked at the cost of the actual, the barriers that she did show me, and that we were talking about, they were,
I think we, it's kinda like a measure twice, cut once. Let's look at the cost, and we're gonna, just a number, spend $5,000 to put this thing up. 2 years from now, we're doing it again because it's not effective, then we should go with what's going to actually work for the long haul. Not, you follow what I'm saying? I don't wanna try to figure a cheap way to get in there just so she go home and not bother us next meeting.
Yeah, oh, I understand.
That's not.
I'd like to mitigate the problem.
Yeah, but we wanna do it effectively. That's where I am. I don't wanna do it just to appease someone, no. But we'll look at it, and like I said, I'm not trying to.
If we could get rid of the train noise issue, do you think the community would be pleased? Because, I don't know why y'all put me right here on this side, because his arm's too long. But if we can get rid of the train noise problem, think about, what the real reason for that project was. It was because Fort Valley State University student population was expanding tremendously
And I'm
at
happy to
that
hear
time.
that. And you know, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, you're happy to hear
I'm
that.
a proud graduate of Fort Valley State.
Right, right.
But again, you know, there are people in their community
Yeah,
that
I
is
got you.
affected.
I got you, but
And to be
if we could
honest,
satisfy
it's-
both.
Yes,
that's what
ma'am,
I'm
because
saying.
the thing is, you know, the community is there and it's not changing. But again, when it comes to property value, resale, rentage and all of that, nobody wants to move into a neighborhood like that. And so maybe for the next project, that will be considered. I don't know if that was considered for this one.
So the public comment period needed to have been longer, is what you're saying, probably.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you for this opportunity,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
again, it's
Thank you.
just to share information, not to throw rocks or any harm or anything, just to share information. As I said, Mr. Walker and I, hopefully still have this great relationship where we talk. As I said, he met me and showed me the blueprints, told me everything about it. But then when the tower actually went up, I was like, this thing is close to the road. And I'm looking up, I said, if it falls, everybody's gonna be wiped out. And that's a possibility. And then it may come a point where they say, oh, well, you all need to move. You all need to sell your houses, or we're just gonna give you, what is it? Can't think of the term where, and this is just a thought, because again, yeah, that's a possibility. Just looking, if you go and look at it, you will see that, where that is a possibility. So that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Your
time.
concerns have been
Thank
registered with us, and, thank you for representing your neighborhood and the distinguished service to our country.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for yours too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our next item is approval of our agenda.
I offer a motion that we, approve the agenda and, at this time.
Motion, looking for a second? A second. Motion in second, all those in favor of approving the agenda by show of hands?
Even though I'm not supposed to vote.
All those opposed? No one opposed? All right, our agenda is set, thank you so much. And, item 2, approval of the minutes. Everyone had a chance to read the minutes. We'll accept these minutes if it's all for our call meeting, joint meeting on November 15th, 2021. That's with the Utilities Commission and the City of Fort Valley, Mayor Pro Tem and council, members of the council were here. And also for the public meeting that we had in November.
I think the two dates are kind of confused, because, November the 15th, we didn't have the joint meeting with the council. I remember that because that was my birthday, and, y'all brought me some cake. And we didn't do that with the entire council. And so the dates, I think, are.
Dates are, we did have a joint call.
We did have a joint meeting, but I
And,
forgot what the
we
date
didn't do
was.
the public meeting.
And then we had a public meeting.
We'll need the approval of those minutes, giving Ms. Penny the leeway to correct the
Make that
dates.
edit, yes.
Edit the dates and edit the minutes to fit accordingly for the joint call meeting and for our public meeting in November.
That being the case, I move approval.
So the dates were swapped around, or was different dates?
It's different date,
Okay.
It was two different dates.
two different dates, yeah, we need to research that and get those correct
Well,
for our minutes.
the two meetings were one after the other on the same day.
But the joint meeting was not on the 15th.
The
Stand
two
corrected.
meetings were the same day.
Stand corrected.
Yeah.
We did have a joint meeting, immediately following, we had
The other meeting.
a meeting with the utility commission.
That's correct.
Stand corrected.
And then we had cake.
It
Then
wasn't
we
on
had
the
cake.
15th.
Then we had.
Oh,
cake.
then we had cake.
Then we had cake.
You were
Well,
there.
after everybody left.
Yes, because the second meeting was just utility.
Okay. I stand corrected.
So the dates are correct?
The dates are correct, thank you for bringing us up to speed with that, and the cake. Thank you for that. So I'll need a motion to approval of the minutes for the called joint meeting of November 15th, immediately following the public meeting of November 15th, still giving permission to Ms. Penny to make any corrections necessary to the minutes that will make us legal always and stay legal.
I so moved.
Motion second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor of approving those minutes, show of hands. Any opposed? No opposed. Thank you so much. Moving on to item 3, Department's activity overview for November 2021, the financial overview.
Well, Miss Kathy's not here today due to a death in her family. So I'm gonna fill in, but I'm gonna go rather quickly just over the topics. In November, we had, altogether, we've had 361 vouchers totaling $84,230.89 for the COVID-19 assistance. Almost all of those were previously, we only had, I believe, 5 in the last month. 4,959 payments were posted. 3,382 were customers that had registered online, 58 of which are newly registered. And we had no new sewer connections to the Southwest project. The drive-through payments, we had 1,507 customers. And electronic drafts, we had 519 customers. Online payments, it's gone up to 1,064, so that does keep growing. And service orders, there were 331 service orders initiated. On electrical, we performed the street light outage audit and found 15 street lights not working, in the process of repairing them. Worked 46 orders on Hyperweb and responded to 53 locates. The other work they were doing was hanging the Christmas lights and making sure all those were working. We had 51 gas locates completed and repaired 2 gas line leaks. The water department repaired 6 service leaks, changed out 6 meters, processed 104 locates, and pumped 42.964 million gallons. Wastewater, we pressure cleaned 3,540 feet of sewer mains, pumped 901,000 gallons of sludge to the digester, and processed 119,445 gallons of sludge through the centrifuge. Our centrifuge has been running a lot more than usual. We're trying to get rid of a lot of the solids that are in the digesters. We sent 157,460 pounds of biosolids to landfill, and our monthly flow was 25.383 million gallons. Then on the financials, as far as the October on the balance sheet, we budgeted for total operation revenues. We budgeted for $1,939,642. Actual was $1,634,912. Total cost of goods sold was $1,278,680, and we were budgeted $1,125,471. Total expenses, we had $746,240, and our budget was $891,362. Our net change in assets was a negative $505,448, and we had budgeted a negative $73,859. And that was due entirely to the rise in electric and gas costs, and our portfolio with the prices got reanalyzed, and nothing actually changed, but they addressed us as having a lower value. And that's, any questions on operations?
The last part you just read, Mr. Walker, I don't see where I have that.
On this sheet right here? It's
Did you
stapled in there, yes.
It's in here?
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
right there.
Okay, good.
That has it.
Looking at the one that's on there.
I redid, the packet was missing a couple things, and I redid the packet.
Okay. This is for November?
That sheet is for October. That's the full balance sheet after October's come out. The other statement was for November. It's a year-to-date, but the year-to-date actually only included October, because that was the first month of being balanced out. Fiscal year.
Mr. Walker, we pumped 900,000 gallons of sludge in 1 month. The digester.
That sounds really high. When you just say it like that, I was reading the numbers off of their report. I know we had pumped an awful lot, but
It sounds like October, November.
A single month, we did just shy of 1 million gallons of sludge.
I will verify that.
Okay.
I'll verify the numbers and get the daily numbers.
And then what kind of percent solids are we getting off of our centrifuge?
I don't have that right offhand. But
Also, in your, the 46, I think you said 46 number of lights that needs repairing, please make certain that 107 Stanley Street on the, Charlie Box in Stanley, it's been out for 2 months. I've driven by there and it's been out for 2 months, and elderly people live there, and we really need to get that repaired.
all right, I'll make sure it's done.
Mr. Clay, we appreciate, the electric department making replacements with LED lightings. Also, when some things are going on, I don't know the technical name of it, but I do know down, Highway 49, going toward Marshallville, I have seen some brighter lights there, wherein they replaced them with LED lights,
Yes.
like we're talking about. And of course, the city has been, our public work director has been talking to your electrical man about Mike
Yep.
Massengale, as to what it would cost for us to replace all of the downtown lights with the from the dim lights to the LED lighting. And, a quote has come to us, and we, our council charged him with getting back with Mike to find out if y'all could work along with us on lowering those costs. Now, that was not, a labor cost, I think it was just all, cost of, whatever.
Material, just materials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took, if you could do it at wholesale price rather than retail price to us, because they're saying that we pay.
I
can
don't
tell you how
believe
much
they
we have
gave
to
you,
pay a month.
they didn't give you retail prices,
Yes.
they gave you wholesale prices.
You gave us wholesale prices?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, okay.
We don't
Anyway,
mark up the
so they'll
material,
come
we don't
asking-
mark up the materials in
They'll
the
come
city.
asking you that, cause they charged them with doing that, okay. But it does, you can see the difference. If you go down Highway 49 and you see where some of those lights went out and they replaced the dimmer lights.
Very different light, a
Oh,
lot
very
brighter
totally
and a
different.
lot whiter.
Totally different. And we, even though that was supposed to be for decoration downtown, I think that we would have a better walkability downtown at night if we had whiter lighting that way. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, any comments for Mr. Walker? All right, thank you, sir. Commissioner Thompson, I heard you mention the light pole that's out on 107 Stanley.
Yes.
For John Q. Public, everybody out there, anyone else, on each light pole is a number. Each pole is a number. And if they have a light that's out, if they look on that pole and get that number, they know exactly where to go and find that out light. Most of the time, I'm sure like now, most of our electric crews off, they go home. They probably don't see the light that's not working.
Every other month, we go out and look
Yeah,
at
I
night.
mean, but there's one that may go out, one went out on my street that's been working every day. I just get the number and send it over, and each pole has a number. And if you get the number, say it's 69, you get 69 and you let the electric department, they know to where that pole is, that a resident may see and we may have missed, or just, it's a number on there.
Okay, so you're referring that to me?
I'm talking, if,
Not,
For information.
for information,
okay, okay.
for anybody who
Cause
understands.
I'm not gonna ask, those elderly people, almost 85 years old, to go out there and look for it, no.
I know, I wouldn't ask them either, I just about better look at it myself and take a picture of it and send it to them. But just as information.
Yes, okay, good,
For
thank
those,
you.
like Ms. Stark may be in the neighborhood, in her neighborhood, and heard somebody say the light is out, and she might just, she's the one, oh, let me send this to Mr. Walker, cause this pole number 69 is out,
Okay,
you know, instead
sounds
of
good.
the address, it may be 2 poles, you know, but I don't know. Just the information, thank you.
Also,
I was
with
staying here for the
the
next item.
downtown lights that are out, we asked the police department to kind of refer that, to you, because not everybody drive around at night to see the lights are out. Whenever I see them out, like I was on Burger King's parking lot one night, when they had an accident over there, and I called 911, the non-emergency number of 911, and asked them if they would get in touch with somebody, to let them know that it's dark on that parking lot. Well, Clay called me the next morning and spanked my hand, he said, that wasn't us, that was the company, their place, their building that they were.
Private lights.
Okay.
And so when we don't know, we just know it's dark, that's all I know. And then there are some people who have street lights on their own property. So we want to make sure that that's really a street light. It's the responsibility instead of their property. If it's on my property, it's my responsibility to call and say, replace my light. I don't think y'all charged to do it, but
No.
we don't try to do it. But anyway, okay.
Next agenda item.
Next agenda item, old business. Next item is, we have no old business, that is. Next one is,
Operations, yeah.
Excuse me.
You introduce your operations.
I was going to introduce him when he does the gas bid proposal, the bid award here in just a moment.
Okay.
I was first gonna do the item B.
I mean,
If,
you and Mr. Charles over there doing some things, huh? You gotta go by the chairman and everybody do all that. All right. All right, we did the operations overview, right?
that is correct.
Okay, do you have any other things you'd like to do before we move on to
I do
old
not.
business?
No.
I said, old business, we have no old business. All right, next item is new business.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was out of order.
New business, item A, swearing in oath of office ceremony. We need to do oath of office for Mr. Lee Dickey.
Yes, sir.
We're prepared for that, Mr. Jones and Miss.
Sure, I swear.
And
I swear.
Mr. Jones, Mr. Keitry.
You got that? Yes, sir. Okay.
Mr. Dickey is a new appointee from the Crawford County Commissioners. If you would raise your right hand. I state your name.
Lee Dickey.
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will well and truly
that I will well and truly
perform the duties
perform the duties
of Utility Commissioner member
of Utility Commission member
of the City of Fort Valley
of the City of Fort Valley
to the best of my skill
to the best of my skill
and ability,
ability,
without favor
without favor
or affection,
affection,
so help me God.
so help me God.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
And I need you to sign.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm from Roberta, I suppose know everybody in Roberta. Is Robert Dick's son or grandson?
We'll let you make the statement.
Son.
When you finish, the 13.
Is that his son? He's a fourth, so Robert is a third then, I guess. He's a fourth, but that's Robert's son.
Yes, Robert, Cindy, my parents, but yes, ma'am,
Okay.
Robert's my father.
And if you wanna sit up, you can.
Okay.
We'll move Joe out of the way.
Sit on the end, whatever's better.
I don't know, whatever's legal is supposed to happen.
Yeah, so we can,
Yeah,
he's sworn in, so.
He's sworn in, we're gonna take
Joe Mackey.
Yeah, Joe
You
Mackey
can take
come
either
down,
seat.
but
We'll get his name made for you.
the elected gentleman comes in effect in January 1, correct?
That's correct.
And the appointee goes in immediately
The appointee can go in immediately. Yeah.
for the rest of this meeting.
Joe, I think Joe resigned effective November 30th, I believe. So, yeah, Mr. Dickens is in place, he's been appointed.
All right?
Sit you between two ladies.
Joe? He's gonna wait.
He's gonna divert to,
The January meeting.
December 13th is be next Monday, swear it in. So,
all right.
one.
I guess, you'll get that information to whatever you choosing to do.
Right, Ms. Brittany already has that information.
Who?
Ms. Brittany already has that information.
Oh, okay, all right. Moving on to our next item. Item B, proposal of the financial arrangements.
Financial department worked on trying to come up with a method for collecting in arrears. And some of their goals, first goal was to keep all bills under $150 and make all customers aware of all the aid that's available wherever they can get assistance. The recommended terms were from $1 to $899 to give them 6 months and just break it up into payments for the 6 months. From the $900 to the $1,799 to give them a year. And then for the $1,800 to $25,000, give them 18 months.
Will you go over that again, please?
Certainly. And there is, this sheet is.
Just the one to $899, you're gonna give them a
6 month
6
period
months?
to pay it back, yes.
6 months, okay.
And then the 900 to 1,799 would be 12 months. And then the 1,800 to $25,000 would be 18 months.
1,800,
1,800 to 25,000.
okay.
And on the inactive accounts, that we would send them this information and allow them to come in and make arrangements with us. And if they didn't make arrangements, then we would end up sending them to collections. And everyone would be contacted and given the information. And then we would get with them and try to work with them to make these arrangements.
Number 2 is making customers aware of all aid that would be available to help with their bills. I think that's very important. And I'm glad you added that into your proposal.
We were also gonna put it on the direct link on our webpage, and we were gonna put a newspaper advertisement for that also, but also have it in the mailer that went to them.
Yeah, that is very important.
Any other questions? What do you need from us, Mr. Walker?
It has actually already been done. It was just, we told you we would come up with criteria and we would bring it to you to up or down. If you're good with it, give us a vote of confidence.
What you wanna do, take formal action though, right? You wanna take formal action.
Well, technically, you don't need to,
Yeah.
take formal action, since it's an operational matter. You don't need to take formal action for that.
But we were waiting till after the first of the year before we started.
But you would want the commission's blessings on it.
Absolutely,
Okay. And that's why he was presenting it, to let you know how they were going to proceed.
yeah.
Thank you so much. And if we need any other, the commissioners need any other information, you can forward us any.
I can definitely forward you more, I have more information.
Cause I'm sure it's gonna be someone out there that's gonna want it explained, and we need to have a little bit better idea, something in writing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. All right, the next item, item C, bid award.
I would like to introduce Robbie Johns, our new operations manager, who is over electric, gas, and telecom. And, he's been with us for just a couple weeks now.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. Nice to meet everyone this evening. I am Robert Johns, just the new guy. However you want to introduce yourself is fine. Come to you tonight just to let you know of a award contract we would like to do. We have recently gone through a bid process to replace a problematic 2-inch steel main line along Shanley Drive. Problematic steel line will be replaced with 4,600 feet of new plastic line. Also, as part of the project, 60 service lines will be replaced with new risers, gas cocks, and ESVs. This project will also replace 100 square feet of asphalt, 30 square feet of concrete. Finally, the project will be cutting, capping, and abandoning the existing 2-inch steel line. The main gas line on Shanley Drive was selected to be replaced as part of our Distribution Integrity Management Plan, or DIMP. DIMP is a plan required by the Georgia Public Service Commission to identify and repair problematic gas lines in a gas operator's service territory. We had 2 bids for this project. D-Lance Southern came in at $170,990. CNH Pipeline came in at $168,320. Based on the bid amounts, we recommend awarding the contract to CNH Pipeline.
This was a budgeted expense, right?
It was a budget expense, yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
We're going back in with the 2-inch line?
Going back in with a 2-inch, yes, sir, the 2-inch plastic line.
I need to look at upsizing it. We're doing it now.
No, we're not gonna look at upsizing at this point in time. The Georgia Public Service Commission is currently going over their upsizing process.
No other questions? I'll take a motion, vote. Motion.
You only had 2? We only had 2 bids?
We only had 2 bids come in, yes, ma'am.
That's all that was submitted, is that?
2 bids
just
were
2
submitted,
was submitted?
yes, ma'am.
If I'm in order, I would make a motion that we accept the bid proposal as recommended.
Motion, looking for a second?
I second that.
Motion second. All those in favor for accepting this current bid award contract to CNH Pipelines, by show of hands, all those in favor? All those that are opposed?
I wanna explain
I
to
have a
Mr.
question.
I wanna explain to
Hold
Mr.
up.
Jones, first of all.
Did you get the vote? Okay.
Yeah, but by 743, House Bill 743, I'm really not supposed to vote except in case the break a tie.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, they told me I could make a motion, but I couldn't vote, so I'm doing what they told me I could do.
Yes, ma'am.
So anyway, when you don't see me raising my hand to vote, it's not because I'm against it.
All right, you have the vote. All right?
She knows it.
She knows the vote. Any more question, discussion with?
Yeah, this is just for, Shanley Drive?
Yes, ma'am.
No other street but Shanley?
The DEP project actually had 3 streets in this project. This is the 3rd and final street. The first one was Park, the second one was West View, and this is the 3rd of the 3 streets as part of this DEP project. The DEP plan is renewed every 3 years. We'll have a new plan coming up next year for additional integrity issues.
I think this was brought up before, when we said we were gonna do these corrections. Didn't we say that we were doing them a street at a time?
Yes.
The question was asked then.
Yeah, this happened, the first, I think, occurred in 2019 was the first street,
Mhm.
Yeah.
then 2020, now 2021.
I just didn't realize it was that much, okay.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Robbie, could you give a quick background to these people?
Sure, what was that? Born in Gainesville, Florida. My parents are originally from Barnesville, Georgia. We moved back up to Barnesville when I was in my teenage years. Spent my formative years in the Barnesville, Griffin area. Went to school at North Georgia College and Brenau University. I spent 21 years with Georgia Power Company, doing various administrative things with Georgia Power, i.e. key accounts manager. Sorry, I'm trying to think of everything I do off the top of my head. Key accounts manager. What's the word I'm looking for?
Rates.
Rates issues, customer choice jobs. Basically anything and everything. I've been a lot with Georgia Power Company through the years. I can't think of everything. Customer service, pretty much everything.
Welcome to Fort Valley Utilities Commission. Forget about Georgia Power. Welcome to the family.
We appreciate you.
We look forward to seeing much more activity from you.
Thank you, sir.
And he has almost a full gas crew.
Almost
Yes.
full gas crew, that's what I'm talking
All
about.
right.
One short.
We gonna get that caught up.
Yes, sir.
We have 2 people fully certified.
All right, next is, item D, the G for loan modification.
Good evening.
It is.
You might recall that there is a GFA loan for the project that Ms. Stark was talking about earlier. And that GFA loan, the documents provided that repayment would start actually in 2022, I believe. And MEAG, GFA is actually allowing that period to go through March of 2022. I'm sorry, March 1st of 2023. So extending the repayment period by a year. So all they're asking you to do is to approve a resolution adopting another amendment, the second amendment to the GFA loan documents, which would allow you a longer period, another year to repay the debt.
So extended from the beginning of 2022 to March.
March of 2023.
To 23.
2023.
Yeah, that's correct. And that resolution would include authorizing the chairman to sign the necessary documents. So if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer any questions I can. But what is before you would be a motion to approve the amendment to this.
Now, when you pass that resolution, I think House Bill 685, or maybe House Bill 743, allows us to sidestep that having to go to the city for their signature, or does the city have to sign for it?
The city does not have to sign.
The city has to sign for it. If that's the case, Ms. Juanita,
He said
you
the
hear
The
me?
city
does not have
The city
to
does
The
not.
city does not
sign.
have to sign for it. Okay, I was about to say, if there was gonna be a need, we'll have a new mayor in, and if somebody need to, during the transition meetings, it would need to be mentioned, that's why I was asking. But they do not have to sign.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Not for the GFA.
Any other questions on the G for loan for
Are
Attorney
there,
Jones?
are there any fees associated with the amendment?
Yeah, that's gonna be my question.
Somebody said something.
Are there any fees associated with the amendment?
No, no. They basically, just commute the payment from one date to the next date without any, additional fees or interest.
Any other questions? Discussion? I entertain a motion to, accept the G for loan modification presented by Attorney Jones.
I offer a motion that we accept the GFA loan modification that will start, payment, March 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Have a motion, looking for a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor for accepting the GFA loan modification, by show of hands. All those opposed? No opposed? Unanimous. Thank you so much. Next item, Georgia Public Web Contract.
Okay. Back in May of 1996, the City and Utility Commission joined with MEAG and 31 other MEAG cities to construct a telecommunications system. That system was turned over to an entity, Georgia Public Web, to manage. Including in that authorization for them to manage was the right to sell the system at some point if they felt like that was in the best interest of the participants or the members. And they've decided to do that. I think the information that we've gotten from MEAG, you may have already seen it, reflects that it's already been approved. This is just giving explicit consent to Georgia Public Web from all the members to go ahead with the sale of that entire system. Each MEAG city participant will receive their percentage share of the net proceeds from the sale. Fort Valley's share is 2.315%. The purchase price of the system is going to be, they estimated about $37,500,000. But there's also money in the Georgia Public Web accounts that belong to the web members. The expectation is, the estimate is that the proceeds plus the money in the bank will be about $55 million. And based on Fort Valley's share, Fort Valley is estimated to receive about $1.27 million. And what we're asking today is approving a resolution that explicitly states that you as a member of the Georgia Public Web agree to the sale, and that you authorize the chairman to sign whatever documents are necessary to effectuate the sale.
Now, the city does have to sign this one.
That's correct.
I received it. We do have to sign that one. And our meetings are coming up this week, which we will have that on our agenda also to sign. But I do want to, so that there will be no problem about this, the total amount that Fort Valley is supposed to receive is $1,273,363. And I would want to state publicly that half of that is supposed to go to the city of Fort Valley, because we're selling the infrastructure and the assets from the Georgia Public Web. Now, it's my understanding that we were hoodwinked into that. One of our former GMs kind of indicated that. But I do want us to understand that a letter will be drawn from the city of Fort Valley too when that happens, so that when I'm gone, there will not be any argument over who's, and the funds will not be deposited until July, I was told, of next year. So half of the $1,273,363 would go to the city of Fort Valley, and the other half would go to the Utility Commission.
That is not part of the documents that are before you. The documents before you.
I know that, but I just wanted to be an understanding, because this is my last meeting. And I didn't want any misunderstanding about that. This is my last meeting on the Utility Commission, and the new person that would be coming in would not have that history. I have the history of when it was first signed. I also have the history of when the First Amendment came about, Second Amendment, and the Third Amendment, of when all those came about. And I met with the MEAG attorney when I went to the Mayor's Summit. And that's where I get my information from. So and I have already told this to the council, but the reason I have not signed my document is because I wanted us to have that understanding before I sign it. Okay. On behalf of the city.
Any other comments for Attorney General of the Georgia Public Web, Mrs. Contreras?
Mr. Chairman, before you leave, can you answer the
I,
question?
oh, you remember,
You
Ms.
did
Bryant, go ahead, go
acknowledge me,
ahead.
But anyway, I can't keep getting up and down. Before
Speak
we
up.
leave this conversation, can y'all make a decision and say, yeah, go on and sign it, and we will give you your portion of it, whether it's half or all?
She's saying that for the sake of the council, so the council would know
Yeah.
if you're gonna pass it, then it goes to the council. If you don't pass it, then it doesn't need to go to us. That's what she's saying, I think.
So that document, what you need us to sign, stating all this, that's not what this document is.
What before you is the Georgia Public Web document, where you are giving explicit consent for, to the sale. Honestly, whether you do or not, the sale is going to take place anyway, because this is really perfunctory. So it doesn't, how you decide or what you decide to do to them with the money is not an issue before you, with regard to the documents that I'm presenting.
But the question would be, if you don't sign the document, will you get your money?
That
would be the question.
You will still get your money if you don't sign the documents. But what's before you right now are documents from the Georgia Public Web to authorize explicitly that you agree to the sale. But if you do not, it's my understanding that it's already been approved, and it's just a formality.
Any other discussion, any other questions?
Yeah, I don't think that, Councilwoman, Bryant's question was answered. She's asking, are we going to approve the fact that we will accept this money and give the other half to the city?
That is I'm understanding he has a document approval for signed approval, sell it. Then when the money comes, we have to vote to put the money where it's supposed to be. It's not a part of that document. What he's saying is not a part of that document, am I correct?
That's correct.
Splitting the money is not a part of what you have here.
It's not a part of that document, but MEAG will have to be instructed as to which accounts to send the monies to. If they're gonna do the wire deposit, to half of it to the Utility Commission, and the wire deposit for half of it to the city. They have to be instructed as like any other time when they send things to where the money, which account the money is going into.
Exactly.
That's the question.
Right.
Ma'am?
That was my question.
Yes.
I don't want it to go, we've been hoodwinked before, and, I don't go back, but, just wanna make it clear that the city is not left out of the, funds from the sale.
I understand, thank you for your concern, moving forward, out with the old, in with the new, we don't plan to do business that way. We're gonna do it.
I don't understand what you're saying.
We're moving forward, we're gonna put everything on the table, when the sale of this happens, and whatever we need to do with MEAG, or any other entity with those funds, we're gonna put them in the right place. If we have to sign documents with MEAG to send Fort Valley, the city of Fort Valley, 50% of it, that's what we have to do to complete the sale.
That's all I wanna hear.
That's what we have to do.
That's what
We're no monkey business, no going around the corner, no playing around the table, no getting on the fish bag.
I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
That's all I wanna hear.
Okay. You said it right.
So that.
I mean, let's
So
not
that
stop the progress for words.
Yes.
Real people doing real business. That's what we're about.
We're not gonna get into that, but.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know,
Thank you so much.
I want clarity to take back to the council and say, yes, they're
Okay,
going
this
to-
commission plans on doing it the right way.
Say what?
This commission plans on doing it the right way.
I got you recorded.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
I say it again.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
So you're simply
Thank you,
looking
sir.
for authorization.
No, I need a motion to,
Well, there are two things.
Okay, go ahead.
The motion to approve, the signing and execution of the Georgia Public Web documents for the sale. But the other thing is, I would hope that you would make it clear whether you're saying right now that the utility commission is going to allocate half of that money to the city, so that no one walks away with a misunderstanding. The proceeds will not be distributed before July 2022. You are not required to make a decision tonight what you're going to do with those funds. And of course, my recommendation would be that you consider not making that decision, because it may have impacts on your operations down the road. But that's a policy decision you could make.
Yeah.
But it's always been my position is that it's not always a good idea to make a decision like this when you hadn't anticipated even considering it. So I just, if it's totally up to you. If you want to vote and say the city's going to get 50%, you can certainly do that. But what I would caution you, so that there's no misunderstanding, be clear in what you're communicating.
I think we're clear as what we're communicating, Mr. Jones, when the chair says this commission intends to do the right thing. I think we're clear when he says that. When I take it to the council, I think that the council would want the commission and the council to do the right thing. And the right thing, this contract was entered into with the city and the utility commission signing the contract. And now House Bill 685 and House Bill 743 came along afterwards. It was in 1996, that's the year my husband died. There was no House Bill 685. There was no House Bill 743. And you can't go back down the road and take the money that belongs to the citizens and the ratepayers and say, no, you can't have it now. You cannot do that. And so the letter instructing me will be sent along with my document. Along with it. Okay. And I would hope that our chair would do the same thing.
Any other questions, any other discussion?
He said he would. They would.
Okay.
I am simply trying to avoid what I've seen happen over the past 3 or 4 years, where there's a misunderstanding. Do the right thing is a term, and what it means to one person might mean something different than someone else. And so I will, again, what's before you is a Georgia Public Web document, but it's my understanding from what, if you would consider the Georgia Public Web document.
Again, Mr. Jones, this man said, going forward, when you look in the rearview mirror, you can't drive forward looking in the rearview mirror. And so he said, going forward, we are going to do the right thing. And I'm not trying to push anything down the road or push anything off on anybody. 20 years ago, I was younger than I am now. And so if you're looking backwards, you're not going to be able to move forward, and you're going to always have problems. And so I thank you for thinking that way. And of course, this is my last meeting. I'm not trying to make anybody make a decision or anything like that. And I'm trying to leave my meeting without cutting food. That's what I'm doing.
So let me
I ain't grandstanding, I'm just telling you how it is.
What's before you is the Georgia Public Web
Yes.
document. It does not talk about how the proceeds should be split. It only talks about the fact that the sale will take place, and it authorizes you would be authorizing the chairperson to sign the documents explicitly acknowledging your consent to the sale. You would also be acknowledging that you wouldn't expect any distribution of proceeds before July 2022, but it says nothing about what you're going to do with those proceeds. So this document doesn't say anything about what you're going to do with the proceeds.
All right, I entertain a motion to accept that Georgia Public Web contract sale of Georgia Public Web.
I offer a motion that we accept the Georgia Public Web contract as related to us by Attorney Jones. We are to wait until they give us, I guess, more information. July?
If it's your intent, you could simply move to accept or approve the Georgia Public Web contract.
Okay. Well, I offer a motion that we move to accept the Georgia Public Web contract.
I have a motion, looking for a second. Second, motion and second to accept the Georgia Public Web contract. By show of hands, all those in favor by show of hands? All those that are opposed? Got to vote? All right, thank you. On that note, as we have had and what has not happened in many years, we had a joint utility and city meeting in November.
Yes.
Haven't had one in God knows when. Going forward, I may not get along with my brother, but we're gonna play good together, we're gonna fight together.
Thank you,
So, moving forward, we're gonna try to do what's right as we call the meetings to make it right, not what somebody else said.
sir.
All right, thank you so much for that Georgia Public Web contract, thank you for allowing me. Next item is item F, senior citizens discount.
Hey, I'm one of them. I'm senior citizen. Do we already get a senior citizen discount?
That's the question. The question is, on the senior citizen discount, what is it? What is the discount rate? Who qualifies?
Me.
Who qualifies?
Okay, I didn't know who put the agenda item in, so I didn't do anything for it.
Okay?
But I know we give one, I believe it's 65,
Thank you.
and I believe it's 10%.
65 and above, and it's 10%. I see it on my bill,
So I-
that's why I say I know.
So 65 and above?
Yes. I'm 70.
That's what I did not research this. I am not pretending I did.
Do you have?
If I would have known I was going to be asked these questions, I certainly would have.
Do you happen to know if there's a percentage rate or anything associated with the discount? I mean, it's like 10% off, 5%, 1%?
I thought it was 10%, but I'm,
It would take Ms. Miles to tell you that information, I think, or Kathy, or Kathy.
However it goes.
A second.
I was just doing the same thing.
Yeah. So, according to our website, the 65 plus utility discount offers a 5% discount to customers who are 65 and older on electric, gas, water, wastewater, residential services. And you have to apply for it.
Thanks.
So, and that is all it says about it.
All right.
5%,
5%.
according to the website.
And my item, payment assistance. What payment assistance do we have available to our customers?
Wait a minute, now what are we supposed to do with that one? Are we gonna do anything with it, or we wanna change it, or leave it the same, or what? I think we need to say that. Or E, item E.
Item E?
Yeah, so item E. Are we gonna
Item
continue
E.
to give the senior citizen discount for 65 and above at, a deduction of 5%? Or do you wanna do 3% or 10% or whatever? We just need to say that. If you put it on the agenda, we need to say something.
Do we know how long it's been 5%?
I have no clue.
Yeah. I don't think we know enough about it right now to make a decision. I think we table it and move forward.
So table it.
Yeah.
I would, cause I don't know enough, like I said, whatever you said, 65 and older, 5%, and you gotta apply for it. You know, what else is out there? What are we missing to vote on or vote against? You know, or whatever.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we table it to the next meeting until we get a chance to do the research.
Item F table.
That's E.
Motion to table. Second? Ms. Rose, second.
Yes.
All right. Item F, senior citizens discount is tabled.
That's E.
Okay, hang on just a second.
What it was, he said he gave us a new pack.
Who motioned that, made the motion?
Mayor made the motion and Commissioner Thompson second.
Yeah, we hadn't voted yet.
Okay. I need, all those in favor of tabling the senior citizen discount to, a later meeting, all those by show of hands that are in favor. No opposed? You got it, Ms. Penny? All right, thank you. Next item, payment assistance. I asked for that to be on there because I needed more information to share.
Well, see, I was not aware of that. It went straight to Brittany and so I didn't know who put it on or why. And so I did not research it. Normally, I'm told who and why things came in, but
You need to table it.
without knowing it, I thought someone else had this agenda item.
You need to table it.
I offer a motion that we table it until you get more information on the, payment assistance, item G.
Motion and second, you got a second? Second. All those in favor of tabling the, payment assistance information, all those in favor by show of hands. Got it, Ms. Penny? Thank you so much. Gotta do something about that issue.
Well, is that not on our website?
Well, I'm sure it is on the website, as a matter of fact, I know it is. But there are some folks, just like Commissioner Thompson described, that are senior or older, that may not be accessible to them, but they may sit and be able to watch this by someone helping, and they may hear the name MGCAA and hear the number called out. And they may not be able to access, you know,
The website.
that website that way.
We are live streaming, aren't we, on Facebook?
No, it's recorded.
No, it's recorded and we'll upload it to our
Okay.
YouTube channel.
We just, I wanna be able to put the information out that's gonna help our folks. That, I mean, if we got it, let them know. Put it out there, it's no secret, you know, it's no hidden money, we ain't taking payoffs and bribery, so we're gonna put whatever out there and make it go. Help people, that's what we need to do.
I don't know all the regulations for them, but I know the four that we use. You know, we have the COVID-19 assistance approved that we have the MGCAA, we have the CARES Act, and then we have the Habitat.
Mr. West, I don't know whether he was on the council then when we started, on the commission when we did that. We opened up this assistant when COVID hit.
Yes.
Before that, he wasn't here. And we opened that up and everybody, it was not being used. It's just not being used like it needed to be. So the publicity wasn't getting out there like it needed to have been, some kind of way. And people didn't know that they could get help. And so when we brought that up, Ms. McAfee, I think, was the one who started putting that out on her newsletter. It's on the newsletter that goes out there, but not, I don't know about the website part.
It's on the website, it's been on the news, and we've also even put it out on the bills.
Well, every way we can get the word out to the
put it out
people,
on
mouth to
the
mouth, church to church, any kind of way
And
that we can do
Facebook.
it, that people recognize how you make announcements. That's, I think it's incumbent upon us to try to make that happen.
My total purpose is to be informed, that people know, it's not brand new, it's nothing to rehash, we just gotta keep pushing the issue of how we can help. The pandemic, yeah, it came out, it's still here.
Yeah.
People still struggling. So it's information, it's help, we need to get it out some kind of way. And if this is my platform to get it there, let's use the platform to get it there, regardless of where you come from and what you do. That's where how I feel. All right, we're tabled.
I'd like to say something.
Go ahead.
I'm talking about at least, I'm gonna say, I wish I could find the minutes, but I asked Ms. Johnson, if you would put this information about the COVID, if you would do this every week, and I haven't seen it in the paper every week. I asked that. She said, yes, ma'am. We need to know about this. If there are only 5 people that are getting the money, getting assistance, I guess about 10 call my house about it. So what I'm saying is, we gotta get this information out to the people. They gotta know the money is there. Why not help them?
Amen.
All right, any other questions? Any other comments on the payment? Well, I'm not gonna blame anybody, I probably need to say more of it. MGCAA, call them, get some help, get some utility help.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blame anyone but myself. All right. No other questions, no discussion, executive session is next, I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Motion, looking for a second?
Second.
Second by Lindsay. All those in favor going into executive session, show of hands. You got your hands in executive session? All right.
Thank y'all.